Hello friends, it's Sharon from Mad Paper Crush here, and today I have a fun video about a challenge. So Barbara from 49 Dragonflies challenged me to a Rustic 7 challenge, which is you have a loved one, a friend, your husband. In my case, I had my mom put together 7 not junk journal related items. So she just picked things out of her house and put them in a bag here for me. And my challenge is to take these 7 things and use them in a tag. So I can also use a piece of graph paper, but only the 7 items. Oh, and I think I can put together a tag base. But other than that, it's just my 7 items. Now, I do believe we're allowed to use tools. So things like stamps or stencils or sewing machine, glue, those kinds of things to actually put the tag together. But the 7 items, the tag base, and the graph paper are what is going to make this tag. So I am excited and a little nervous to see what my mom has put together for me in this bag, but I think it's going to be a fun challenge. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so here's the bag that my mom gave me with the 7 items that she had picked out for me. So let's see what's in here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of try to pull one thing out at a time and see what happens here. Oops. Okay, so we have a card. Thanks a bunch. So that'll be nice for maybe even making the card. I'm not sure. I'm not going to try to decide what I'm going to do with everything right now. So let's see. Pocket praise. You make a difference every day. This looks like one of those table tent cards that you would fold in half and like put on, you know, a table, and it has the thing sticking up there. So the stars are interesting. And ooh, a little bag here with some pretty cool fabric on there actually, and some string. I kind of like that. So that might be fun to try to use somehow. And let's see. Oh, looks like a little pendant. This little guy on there. I'm not sure what he is. And then this looks like a clip somehow, so that you could clip it to something. So isn't that interesting? Okay, got a little pendant there. And then, oh, another little pin. This has some sea items on it. So seaside there. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, a little key. That's always fun. I like these. And then I think last thing. Oh, yep. Oh, an earring. I wonder if this is must be a single, maybe that the other one got lost or something, but it has a sand dollar on that. So that's kind of interesting. I have 2 things that are sort of sea related. And then these are the fun 7 items I get to try to figure out something to do with. So let's give it a go. Okay. So the other things that I think I'm allowed to use is a piece of graph paper. And so I found this kind of vintage piece of paper here that kind of has the blocks on it. So I thought that would be fun to use somehow. And then also I can make a tag base. So since I'm not sure exactly what my tag base is going to be yet, I thought I would just do a little bit of playing with these items to come up with, I don't know, something. So they're just, you know, I mean, I have my 2 little sort of related things, and then everything else is all over the place. So I think what I was going to do first, as I was looking at this bag, it has an inside lining fabric as well. So I thought I would try to use my seam ripper to see if I could pull this apart and kind of salvage some of the fabrics that I have on both sides of this. So I'm just going to try to go in and pull out some of these stitches and then see if I can get these 2 to separate a little bit here. So let's see if I can kind of do that. I'm not sure how much this will work, but it almost looks like this is folded in half here, and these are the ends. So if I can get the the stitches out here, I might be able to open this up and have a lot more fabric here. Okay, I got these two apart and I love how they look. So I think those are going to be really fun to do something with. And I like that I have two whole pieces of things to work with. Now, this one, the string is, or yarn or whatever this is actually poked through this fabric. So I didn't want to wreck these little ends, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use this yet. I may just, you know, cut the parts out of the fabric where this is kind of sewn through to keep the string as whole as I can. We'll have to see how that works, but I'm just going to put those aside for now. And I wanted to do something with these because I don't like them. So I wanted to try to do something with them. So I think I'm just going to grab some gesso and do some covering with them. So before I do that, this one is pretty matte, so I think it'll be okay, but this one's a little bit slippery. So I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of texture to it, some scratches of some sort. So I found a little sandpaper here. So we'll see if I can just rough this up a little. And that's working pretty good, actually. It's also removing some of the color, which I think will be good. Maybe let me just see what this does to this. Nothing. Ooh, does add a little bit. All right, let's see about adding in, whoa, a little bit of gesso here. Try to get some of that paper off. I'm gonna grab my just a old paintbrush here. All right, so I just grabbed a little gesso here. So we'll put a little here, a little here. I kind of like the way this one folds, so I don't think I want to do too much with this one, in terms of, like, I want to leave this little break in there, I think. So, but this one, I'm gonna cover this guy up and figure out how we can use that. And I think the other side of this is completely plain. Yes. So the mind is spinning a little bit. All right, I'm gonna dry these up a little bit and add a second coat. Okay, I'm gonna set these aside to dry a little bit, and I'm gonna start my base tag. Now they said that we could use something else for a base tag, so I just grabbed some old packaging here, and I think I'm gonna use that. So I'm gonna cut this down. Let me see. I have like a tag template here. So looking at all my things that I'm going to use, I think this might be a good size. So I'm just going to grab my pencil and I'm going to outline this kind of in the middle because these ends are pretty ratty. So I'm just going to keep this this size here so I know where to cut. And cut this with my craft knife, I think. Okay, tags cut out here. I think I am going to add some gesso to this as well, just to prep this for anything I might want to do here. I think I'm gonna maybe add some paint and things. All right, I wanted to start a little bit of a background on here. I was thinking that, you know, I could just kind of totally cover this with this, but I think I'm going to use that separately. So what I wanted to do was I went and grabbed kind of a turquoise color paint that hopefully will complement that orange. And then I'm just gonna, it's kind of runny. This paint is pretty old, but I thought it might be fun to try to add a little bit of this mica powder to it. If I can very gently grab some of that to add in. And see if we can make a little shimmery paint that matches our fabric shimmer. So I don't know if that's maybe not enough. Let's see. I don't want it to go too far, because what I was thinking I would do, instead of just painting the whole thing, let me see if I can add a little more of this. We can get some shimmer. Whoa, that was too much. Oh boy. Might have to add a little more paint now. Although we do have kind of a little bit of a paste going. That looks kind of shimmery. See if I can get all that in there and still have a little bit of wet paint going. All right, let me see. And then I thought I would use the bottom of this. Maybe I should kind of paint it on. Just kind of wanted to roughly get some on there. I'll do that again. Let's see. I kind of want it to be thicker in some spots and not as thick in others. Maybe the other thing that I'll do is grab a different size. See if I have something else. Ooh. I can use an old pen cap to maybe do the same thing. So we'll just add some things onto there. And these aren't as messy as I want them to be, so I'm gonna try to mess them. I'm gonna try to mess them a little. So if I can get some more on here, I think that'll help me have kind of a messier circle. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I like that. Now I'm going to hopefully cover myself up and maybe just make some splatters on here. They're going everywhere but on my tag, so that's about par for the course for me. All right, I'm going to add a little water. Let's see what that does. So I kind of like the way that does. Okay, so now I'm going to try and dry this. Okay, now I decided to try to use up some more of my little mica and turquoise here. I thought I would use this that I've prepared with some color here. So I'm just gonna add some to this. So that we can do some fun things with this too. I think, I'm hoping. You know, I have it in my mind, so we'll have to see if that works. So I'm going to put that aside to dry, along with everything else drying. Okay, and let's look at what we got here. So I like this background, and I think, move this out of the way. I haven't decided how I'm using my graph paper yet. I'm making a mess. Okay, my fabric is dry. I think this is dry. So I thought this has some fun patterns in it. So I thought it might be fun to kind of tear them apart and figure out, or not tear them, but cut them apart and use them on the tag here. So I'm just going to maybe think about how I can use those. Let me grab this other piece. So this was the other piece that I had to use before I start putting all my little metal pieces on, but I was folding this and kind of thinking about it, and I thought this would be a fun little pocket. So we could put a pocket on here. I think that would be fun. And then maybe I could cover this with some of my fabric, or we could kind of embellish this sort of the same way we did the background, just to kind of make them match a little bit. Now I probably need to find my, which I've already put away, maybe use some smaller circles here. We'll kind of do the same thing we did with the background. Let me see which side will be showing if I do this as a pocket. So just add a couple things here or there. And I may even add a little bit of water to get that messy look I'm looking for. Yeah. Kind of like that. I don't know if I can get any, I don't think I'll be able to get any drips and drabs from this, but we'll try. There we go. Okay. All kinds of fun stuff going on here. All right, let me let that dry before I do this. I think that can re-wet, and then we will keep going. Okay, this is nice and dry. So let's once again add some orange to this. That's a lot. Add a little more over there. And then we'll dry it and we'll add a little brown. Okay, now, first thing I'm going to do, I do think I want to make this a little pocket on the bottom here somehow. So I am going to just cut off the excess here so that it is ready to go for when we do that. And then I'm going to start taking a look at this fabric here. So I like these little pieces here. So let me grab my fabric scissors and I'm gonna just try to see if I can cut these out. This one still has a little bit of a wrinkle in it, but I think it will be okay. I was thinking we could kind of put them around on there. I don't know, there's not a lot of this one left. Actually, let's cut this little strip off because I thought this might be fun to do something as well. That might be a nice tag topper, possibly. Wait, let me see. I'm gonna try to cut this one out. Okay. And we have our pocket at the bottom, and then I may even, there's another cute little piece here, or even some of these little flowers might be fun that we kind of cut out here to put on different places. Let's see, but I want to cut out this little piece, I think. Okay, might use that there. And we could put some words or something on here. And I think I probably should just cut these out too. I do think I like the smaller ones better, since my tag is a little smaller. Keep my little flowers up here just in case. Okay, and now I think I am going to cut off just kind of the top part of this. Try not to cut the string. So I was thinking it might be fun to add some of this since it feels like silk. I don't know that I can tear it very well. Shall we try? That's not going to work. Let's see how many more cutting devices I can get out here. Grab my fabric roller. Okay, so maybe I'll make a couple little strips with this. Straighten this up just a little. That didn't cut very good, did it? Okay, got lots of little pieces here. Okay. Now let's see. Kind of like my little bit of turquoise here, but I do need to figure out what to do with this, and I thought it might be fun. Actually, I could use this as part of my insert for my pocket. I think that's what I'll do. So, I think what I'm going to do here, oops. I'm going to make a couple of little gussets, I was thinking, but may not need to do that. I do think I'd like to add a little bit of a thumb hole here. And some distress around everything, just so that I can get an idea of where we're at. And we'll also just add a little here. Okay, whoops, wrong side. Okay. Yes, I like the way that's coming together. So now, let's see. We could add a little zhuzhing. Is that a word? Maybe to the back edge of my pocket. Kind of like that. And then we have our little things that are going to go here and here. Okay. I'm thinking about this on here. Let me see what kind of a piece I need to go in here. So I'm just going to mark this. to make myself a little insert here. And how tall should we make it? I don't want to make it too tall because I do kind of want it to, the background to show a little bit. So actually, let's do this way first. Because I'm thinking this would make a cute little tag on the inside here. A tag in a tag. And I think we could decorate this with some of our leftover pieces for sure. Actually, one of these might be just perfect for that. Okay, so now what I thought I would do, I just wanted to try to see if maybe I could make a die cut from this little blue piece here. Let me see. That one's going to be a little too small. Oops. Yeah. So we could do one of these. Okay, I think I am going to cut a little bit of just a little die cut here. So I can use some more of this. And I always need a little piece of tape when I'm doing my die cut. So I'm just going to use this little kind of book plate shape, I think, right here. Let me go cut that. Okay, I cut that. I've got all kinds of things together. I do think I am going to do a little sewing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my little strips that I have here and I'm going to sew a little ruffle along the back side of this first before I do anything with that. And then I think I'm going to sew this around the whole thing here. Well, maybe not yet, but first let's just do this. So I'm going to use these strips and make myself a little ruffle. Okay, I've sewn a little ruffle on there. And so this can go on here just like that. And before I do that, I do want to put these on. So let me just kind of eyeball where I might want them. I think I like that better because more of my turquoise shows through there. Okay, so I think I'm going to use, maybe I'll use my 3-in-1 glue here. Grab my glue mat. And this is such thin fabric, I know this is probably going to go through this glue. So I'm just spreading it around with my finger to kind of get the most of it on there. I'll have to give that a minute to dry, but while that's drying, we'll start the second one here. And this one seems to have a lot of threading on the back. So I'm just trying to make sure I get, you know, as much as I can on the edges so that it will adhere kind of the way that I want. There we go. Okay. And then I was thinking for the front, since I made this little die cut, I thought it might be fun to add this on top. With some decoration. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to find some words to use here. Oops. Okay, so now it's time. I'm gonna make some of my little word quotes here. And I'm gonna use this little piece of that card that I cut off that I was thinking about using for gussets. But I'm just going to add some distress ink here. And then I'm gonna grab my stamps. You can see them here. All right, and I think I'm going to use this color, this orange. And let's see if I can come up with some fun quotes here. I was going to do, life is but a dream. Okay. So I like how that turned out. And I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to use all three of these, or not all three, but I'm going to cut them apart. Actually, it'd be easier for me to do this. I can see better if I just cut the top first to make it fairly straight, hopefully. And then I'll cut the bottoms off. And I did two of the word dream because I wanted to put something on the pocket, and I think that word would go well there too. So let's see. So we have this dream that we can put here. I think probably I should start thinking about what else I can put with this. All right, so we'll do that in just a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. And I was thinking for my little tag here, this quote might be fun kind of on top here. Something like this. Okay. Something like this. Life is but a dream. And I definitely need to add something onto here. And actually that might be fun on there. All right, I'm gonna have to start taking some of that apart, I think. Okay, whoops, I'm losing my letters. Okay, so let me get cleaned up here and then we will, I'm gonna distress all around here too. And whoops, I just threw everything around. I'm having quite a time today. I'm just gonna distress around these words so that they're a little bit more vintagey. And then I'm gonna clean up this stuff. I'm going to start working with some of these little metal pieces here before I start putting more together. I wanted to I'm not sure what to do with this little guy, so I'm going to take him apart off of his little clip here for a second to see if I can get, and then as well as this, I'm going to take apart the earring here to take this little piece off. There we go. And then this, I was thinking about taking off this entire pin back, but I'm gonna wait on that one. So this interesting piece, we could clip something. Okay, we'll have to kind of keep working with that, see what we come up with. So for now, let's go ahead and I'm just going to cut off just the teeniest bit around this because it's a little bit big for me on here. So hopefully these scissors will suffice. Yes. Okay. Grab my glue again. And let's say I think I have 2 dreams. I'm gonna put a dream here. Just a dream. Got threads all over my glue. Okay. Put that right in the middle. And then we'll add this. Right there. Okay, so now this pocket I think is coming together because I think that will look cute there. And then as I was taking this apart, I thought, isn't that cute? It fits right there in that circle, this little earring back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off this little hook piece. If I can. Maybe file it a little. And it is very bright. Most of my other things are not quite so bright, but I don't think I have anything that can really tarnish this up. I don't think. I have this brown shoe polish. Let me see what that will do. Maybe. I don't know how this will dry on there. It's not really doing anything. That is not working, I don't think. It did take a little bit of it off, maybe. So let me just add a little more, and I'll try to set it aside and let it dry and see if it actually stays dull. More like these other pieces. So we'll leave that there for just a moment. My hands are just getting dirtier and dirtier, but that is what makes this so much fun. Okay. So I do think I like that idea, but before I put this on, I need to attach my pocket. And I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to sew all the way around my pocket. And then in the same vein, I may, because I'm going to put this on like this, and I'm going to put my words on top, but I think I'm going to sew around this as well. But this I am going to round my edges just the slightest little bit. And then, of course, we'll add a little bit of distress here too. And I may even see about adding, because this is awfully blue now, which I like, but doesn't seem to match everything else so well. And I think I'm going to grab my pen again and see about, or pen cap, and see about adding some orange circles. I don't know if this is going to work as well. I don't think it will. It doesn't look like it's going to. Maybe just a, we're going to have my fabric piece in the middle, so it doesn't need to be too much, but I just thought since the other side has circles, it might be nice to kind of continue that theme. So at least it's a little grungier. I like that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to sew around this, and I'm going to sew around this, and then we will, actually, I'm not going to sew around that yet because I need to figure out what I'm doing with the back. And since I have this paper still to use, I think I'm going to back both my note card here, my little card that's going inside, and the back of this with my graph paper here that I'm going to use. So I already had gotten a little bit of this ink on there. I think I'm going to add a little to it. And we'll kind of have this matching, oops, the fronts a little bit. All right, let's let that dry, and then we'll do the same with the brown. Okay. I like how that looks, the orange on there. Actually, I think that is just about perfect. So let's let that dry too. Okay, I think that looks good. So now you can add, let's see what, like this side all the way to the end. So I'm going to use my, what to use. I don't want this to seep through. I'm afraid my 3-in-1 glue might seep through. So I may try to use my art glitter glue here for hopefully some good hold. Okay, my art glitter glue was, I don't know, testing me. So I'm gonna go back to here, hoping that it won't go through, because this, my graph paper is very thin, but I can't seem to get enough glitter glue on there either. So I'm going to try my 3-in-1, but what I'm gonna do is once I get a good amount on here, I'm gonna spread it around with my fingers so that hopefully it will not blotch up too much on the other side. Okay. I am going to be sewing this, so I probably don't need to worry so much about it, but it's a little late now. And that looks good. It didn't come through, which is exactly what I wanted. All right, so now let's cover this guy. And we'll do the same thing. There is a thread on there. Okay. I have shoe polish all over me. Okay, let's move this stuff out of the way. And then we'll just cut these out. Okay, I'm going to add some stitching. So I'm going to stitch my pocket on here, just like that. And all I'm going to do for this one is just sew around the outside edges so that we can finish putting it together. All right, I have my pocket sewn on here. I love how these little edges stick out at the bottom. I have my tag that is going to sit right in there once we get it together. And so let's go ahead and start putting this together. I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down, kind of like we had done the fabric in the other places. This seemed to work really well. Just have to get enough on there to get to the edges. Okay. Oop. Okay, I think I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit because my fingers are sticky. And so is this right now. So we'll let that dry before we add our words. So maybe what I can do is go ahead and glue this down because this is ready to go. I'm gonna put that right there. Oh. And then we need to start working on our metal pieces. I had some ideas, but I need to kind of work them out. So, okay, now this, it does look like I got it to dull down a little bit, which I like. So I think that will definitely look nice there. And then I know I can add some to this, but what I was thinking, let me grab that. I cut this little strip out and I was thinking it would do, you know, my tag topper here to be this strip. But I thought we could also add in, whoops, our pin here up at the top. So I do think I'm gonna take the pin backer off so that I can just glue it down, I think. But I could also stick it through, which might be fun too. So maybe I'll try that first before I take that off, and then we'll decide if I like that. But then let's see what else. So I have my little guy here, which I have no idea what to do with him since he's really not fitting into my theme, but kind of looks like he's dreaming, right? I could maybe put him just on this tag. Although if I did that, I don't believe this would fit in here. It would if I forced it in. So it could be something I could still do. Let me just think though. It might even be fun on the back, actually. So the key then is something I need to figure out. I think maybe what I might do with the key, I do like it on the tag here, this part of the tag. What I may do is just punch a hole and then use some more of my strips here to just tie that in. I think I like that idea. Okay, so this is still drying. Let's let that dry, but that's an idea for that. And let me see about just kind of getting this ready to go. And then wonder if I could put this through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my pokey tool. Actually, I could probably do this on here. Okay, so if I have this here, then I want maybe here and here. Let me just mark those because I don't want to go on the outsides of this. So if I do one hole here and one hole here, hopefully that will go through. So I can't see where the other one is. Well, I didn't do that very well, did I? I think it's about there. Okay, so now I can take this. Wait, I think I want this down just a little. This may not do what I think it's going to do, and if not, because I don't think I have enough leeway here, probably should have made it smaller. which I could still probably do. I'm really afraid I'm going to stick myself. Well, that went further than I wanted it to. Okay, so that's definitely not going to work the way I wanted it to. So I just need to decide how I'm going to put that on. So I still could take that off and just glue it down, but first we have to put this on. So let's do that. And I'm going to leave a little bit at the edge to kind of float around so it's not all glued down. And same with the front. I won't glue it right at the edge. Just glue it like that. And then I'm going to set that aside to dry. Since both sides are wet, I think I'm going to try and stand it up a minute. Okay, so now this piece we got to do some finagling with. So let's see if I can grab my tools again. See if we can break this off without damaging the rest of the piece, which I think is happening. Oop. Okay, this one is really ooh, that worked. I don't want to hurt myself here. Okay, I think that did it. So we can glue that on there. All right, we're still letting that dry though. Let's let that dry. I keep saying that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this guy. So I think I want a little bit bigger hole than a pinhole for that one. So I'm just gonna grab my hole punch. That's like 1/8 of an inch, I think. And we're just gonna put a hole in the corner. And I think, yeah, I think I want it on this side. Like that. And then let's see. I may need my something to push this through. There we go. I have to decide what hole I want it to go through. There's 3 of them here. So let me see, how about this one? Try it. Actually, the top ones, I think I like that one. I'm just going to add a little knot here. And then I'll just add some angles there. I like that. Okay, and this is, I think, pretty dry, so let's go ahead and add our words. So let me see how I want to put them on. I think I like them like that. All right, so little bits at a time here. I'll do this guy first. Okay, now I'm going to glue this little bugger down. Hopefully it'll stay. It kind of is not exactly flat, but I think I got enough on the edges that hopefully it will stay down. But I love the way that looks. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. We'll put it right there. And I think I'm going to have to do the same thing. I don't know how much of this will actually touch, so I'm going to just try to get as many of the edges as I can, and hopefully it will stay down. And since it's on fabric, I think that'll be a little bit better. Okay. Give that a second to dry. Okay, while I was waiting for this to dry, I had another little idea. I cut out some of these little flowers that were around in the fabric. So I just cut a couple of those out, and I thought it would be fun to just add them around here and there where they would, you know, kind of match everything. So like maybe inside of there, maybe one up here, and then I thought I might put a couple on the back or something. I think that would look nice. So we're gonna glue up my fingers again. And actually, I think what I might do this time, since I kind of know where I want them, I'm just gonna put the glue down first, and then add my little flower on top of that. Maybe I'll put one here. Maybe up here. Okay. And for our final touches, now I think that these two are finally dry. I think they worked out pretty well there. So for the back, I thought I would put my little guy here. That he's pretty thick. So I was thinking about putting him here. And since I have this one piece left over, I thought I would add this as part of the back there. So I may just glue this down. I think I might try this technique, putting the glue on the paper. That seemed to work pretty good for those little flowers. So I'm just trying to get like an idea of where this might go. And then this guy, now I was going to try and cut the top off of this, the little loop, but because this this actually is a shell, it looks like, I'm afraid if I cut that off, I may break the whole thing. So I think I'm going to leave him alone and just glue him down as is. And I'm definitely using my 3-in-1 glue for this, and hopefully he's not too smooth on the back and he'll stay down, but we shall see. I think I might have put a little too much glue on him. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of that off. And we'll put him down for a minute, and once again, I'll set this aside to dry, and maybe I can wash up my hands, maybe get some glue off of them. Okay, I think everything is dry, and I think everything is going to stay on here. So this one may need a little bit more time to dry, but I wanted to just show you how cute this turned out. So I have my little tag within a tag here. Life is but a dream. And I have my little flowers all around. And then I thought the other thing that I would do once I put this in here, so I have this little clip left over. Like I said, I wasn't sure exactly. I've never seen a clip like this, but I thought it would be fun because a clip, you know, clip is always fun somewhere. So I thought this neat little metal arm kind of going across there would be cute as a little finishing touch for the whole thing. So there you have it, friends. My Rustic 7 challenge. This was so much fun. Thanks so much to Barbara from 49 Dragonflies for challenging me. I had a great time putting this together, and I hope that you had fun watching, and I would challenge you to do something like this too. This was a little bit outside of the box for me, but I loved it because it challenged me to think of different ways to put things together, and I really had a wonderful time with it. So there you have it, friends. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.